Boa tarde. Let's review words from yesterday. Don't remember where I left off. Pinho, pine, trepadeiras, vines, moradores, residents, envelhecido, aged, madeira, wood, estanches, shelves, pena, feather or pity, cape, cloak, assustador, scary, sabio, wise, gentil, gentle, con, conhecimentos, knowledge, aprendiz, apprentice, amanches, lovers, costera, coastal, penasco, cliff, moradores, residents, fejo, iron, tapeçaria, tapestry, rasgada, torn, trancada, locked, enferrujada, rusty, revelo, revealed, engrenagens, gears, empoeirado, dusty, oops, last one was wrong. Relojoeiro, gears, selo, stamp, recuo, retreated, sombrio, dark, tivesse had, afastado, away, bairro, neighborhood, letrero, sign, despotado, faded, vitrine, showcase, emoldurada, framed, superfície, surface, sonhava, dream, deserta, deserted, process, square, sotal, attic. Então, vamos aprender algum português. Oops. All right. A Livraria das Estações. The library of the bookstore of seasons. Should have probably known that word. Estações. Em um bairro escondido, entre ruas de paralelepípedos e casas de janelas floridas, existia uma livraria que abria apenas certos dias do ano. Ela não tinha nome na fachada, apenas uma placa de madeira com os desenhos de 4 folhas, verde, dourada, uma vermelha e uma branca. Ninguém sabia ao certo quem era o dono, porque a loja se funcionava às vezes, mas os moradores chamavam o lugar de Levaria das Estações. Okay. In a hidden neighborhood between roads of, I have no idea what this word is, cobblestones. Don't even use that word in English. And houses and flowery windows, houses and houses of flowery windows. Houses with flowery windows. Exists a library that opens just in certain days of the year. She it didn't have a name. It didn't have name in the closing. She had no name in the facade. I don't understand that. Just it's just a plaque of wood with a drawing of 4 leaves, a green, a gold, a red, and a white. No one knew for certain who was the owner or where that the store was, or for that the store only functioned sometimes, or why the store only opened sometimes, operated, functioned. But the residents called the place the Library of Seasons. Okay, let's see if I was close. In the neighborhood hidden between cobblestone streets and houses with flower windows, there was a bookstore that was only open certain days of the year. Had no name on the facade, just a wooden plaque with the design of 4 leaves. No one knew for certain who was the owner, or where the store, or why the store only opened sometimes, but the residents called the place the Library of Seasons. No one knew for sure who owned it, or why the store was only open sometimes. Helena, uma garota de 14 anos, era apaixonada por livros e passava horas explorando sebos e bibliotecas. Dia, voltando da escola, em tarde de outono, viu a porta da livraria entreaberta e a luz dourada do interior refletindo nas folhas caídas da calçada. Sem pensar muito, Empujó a puerta y entró. Um, Helena, a 14-year-old girl, was in love with books and spending hours exploring second-hand bookstores and libraries. One day, returning from school in the afternoon of August, she saw a door of the library entreaberto, welcome, I have no idea, half open, and the golden light of the inside reflecting in the leaves caídas da calçada, in the leaves falls on the sidewalk. In the fallen leaves of the sidewalk. Without thinking too much, she pushed the door open. She opened the door and entered. Helena, a 14-year-old girl, was passionate about books and spent hours exploring secondhand bookstores and libraries. One day, on her way back from school on the autumn afternoon, she saw the bookstore door ajar, and the golden light from inside reflecting on the leaves on the sidewalk. Without thinking much, she pushed the door open and went in. Orsino tocó de maneira suave, como uma nota musical esquecida. Lá dentro, o ambiente era mágico. Estantes altíssimas se perdiam no teto, onde nuvens leves pairavam. O chão mudava de cor conforme se caminhava: laranja no outono, azul no inverno, verde na primavera e dourado no verão. E o ar tinha o cheiro exato de café, madeira antiga e páginas novas. Okay, that was a little more tough. The Sino played in a suave manner. The bell rang softly. Like a forgotten musical note. Inside, the ambience was magical. Shelves altísimas, very tall shelves, altísimas, that very tall shelves forgot of the ceiling. I don't understand. We're lost in this now. Where clouds took paravam, where light clouds Covered. Un momento.
See, that's why we get mad at you guys. Look at this. Looks like you're gonna break the table. The girl, you are gonna break my table. You're gonna break my table, and then it happens. She's like, my dad doesn't listen to me. See, my daughter all the time.
Jesus. Where the light clouds hovered, where light clouds hovered. The floor changed colors, conforming with the path. The ground changed color as you walked. The ground changed color, conforming if you walked. Orange in autumn, blue in the summer, green in the spring. Blue in the winter, green in the spring, gold in the summer. And the air had a scent exactly of coffee, ancient wood, and new pages. The bell rang softly like a forgotten musical note. Inside, the atmosphere was magical. Towering bookshelves disappeared into the ceiling, where light clouds hovered. The floor changed color as you walked. Orange in the fall, blue in the winter, green in the spring, and gold in the summer. And the air smelled just like coffee, old wood, and new pages. No balsão havia uma senhora muito velha, com os cabelos prateados como neve e olhos de duas cores diferentes, verde e dourado. Ela sorriu para Helena e disse: Você chegou no dia certo. A livraria te esperava. Okay. No balsão. Don't know the balsão counter. So, there was a very old woman with hair, silvery hair. Like snow, and eyes of two different colors, a green and a gold. She smiled for Helena and said, You arrived on the right day. The library was waiting for you. At the counter was a very old lady with snow-white hair and two different colored eyes, one green and one gold. She smiled at Helena and said, You arrived on the right day. The bookstore is waiting. Helena não entendeu, mas se- seguiu a mulher até uma estante escondida atrás de um biombo. Corre biombo coberta. Biombo coberto de folhas secas. Lá ela pegou um livro encapado com couro cinzento e o entregou à menina. Este livro está vazio. Ele só se escreve quando alguém especial começa a lê-lo. Helena didn't understand but followed the woman until a hidden shelf behind the biombo by the screen cover. Of no, of dry leaves. There she got a book in Capado. Heard. I read that yesterday. I think I did. Com Couro cinzento and the intrigue to I don't understand this sentence. She took out a book. She took out a book bound in with gray leather and handed it to the girl. This book is empty. It only writes itself when someone special starts to read it. It only gets written when someone special. Okay, I think we already know this sentence, but let's just read it anyways. Elena didn't understand, but she followed the woman to the shelf hidden behind a screen covered with dried leaves. There she took a book covered in gray leather and handed it to the girl. Cuando Helena abrió el libro, las páginas se iluminaron y letras doradas comenzaron a se formar. Mas, en vez de una historia común, ela via cenas do seu próprio futuro. Ela lendo sob a chuva, salvando gato preso numa árvore, encontrando uma pessoa com quem dividiria grandes aventuras. Mais à frente, as páginas mostravam perigos. Torre desmoronando, homem de capa escura, e uma floresta em chamas. When Helen opened the book, the pages illuminated and gold letters started to form. But in the time of a common story, she saw visions of her future. She saw scenes from her own future. She read under the rain, saving a cat. Stuck in a tree, finding a person with who shares grand adventures, but more importantly, the pages showed danger. A tower. That's more tower. The tower falling apart. A man of a dark cat cover and a forest in flames. Is that what that says? Okay. Wasn't as hard as I thought. When Helena opened the book, the pages lit up and golden letters began to form, but instead of an ordinary spell or common story. She saw scenes from her own future, herself reading in the rain, saving a cat trapped in a tree, meeting a person with whom she would share grand adventures. Further ahead, the pages showed dangers, a crumbling tower, a man in a dark cliff, and a forest on fire. O que é isso? Perguntou assustada. São possibilidades, respondeu a senhora. A livraria mostra o que pode acontecer, mas o que vai acontecer depende de você. Helena passou dias voltando à livraria, lendo e escrevendo sem saber. Cada vez que tomava uma decisão nova na vida real, o livro se alterava. Um dia ela ajudou uma senhora a atravessar a rua, e na página seguinte apareceu uma ponte de luz atravessando um rio escuro. Outro dia, se recusou a mentir para proteger uma colega, e no livro uma estrela brilha sobre uma montanha. What is this? She asked, scared with fear. They are possibilities, responded the woman. The bookstore shows what can happen, but that is going, well, what is going to happen depends on you. I think I got that 100% right. They replied. Bookstore shows what can happen. Helena passed days. Helena spent days returning to the bookstore, reading and writing without knowing it. Oh, wait, I didn't do it. Helena spent days at the library reading and writing without knowing. Every time that she took a new decision in real life, the book altered itself. One day she helped a woman to cross the street, and the page followed, appearing. You guys see Perry? No. Appearing a point of light. It appeared a bridge of light crossing a dark river. Another day she Hekuso a lie. What are you doing, dude? She refused to lie for protecting a colleague. And then the book, a bright star on top of the mountain. Bright star shine on top. Elena spent days returning to the bookstore, reading and writing without knowing it. Each time she made a decision in real life, the book changed. One day she helped an old lady cross the street, and on the next page a bridge of light appeared across a dark river. Another day she refused to lie to protect a colleague, and in the book a star shone over a mountain. Mas certa noite, ao voltar para a livraria, encontrou a porta trancada. Tentou abrir, bateu, chamou, nada. A livraria não abria mais. Sem saber o que fazer, Helena continuou vivendo, mas sempre lembrando do livro. Anos se passaram, ela se tornou professora, depois escritora, e contava histórias sobre uma livraria mágica que alguns achavam ser invenção, até que numa tarde de primavera, ao caminhar por uma rua esquecida, viu novamente a placa com as 4 folhas. But certain nights, but one night, to return to the bookstore, found a door trancada, locked. Can you stop, please? She tried to open it, hit it, screamed, nothing. The bookstore would not open anymore. Without knowing what to do, Helena continued to live, but always remembered the book. Years passed. She became a professor, after a writer, and recounted and told stories about a magical bookstore that some thought was an invention. Until since that until later that spring, Numa Tarch, what does that mean? In a spring afternoon, she walked on a hidden route, saw again a plaque with 4 leaves. One night when she returned to the bookstore, she found the door locked. She tried to open it, knocked, called out, nothing. The bookstore would not open anymore. Not knowing what to do, Helena continued living, but always remembering the bookstore. Years passed. She became a teacher, then a writer, told stories about a magical bookstore, which some thought was a fabrication, until one spring afternoon, walking down the forgotten street, she saw a sign for the entró corriendo, todo estaba igual. A senhora do balcão agora tinha os cabelos inteiramente brancos, mas o mesmo olhar de 2 cores. Bem-vinda de volta, Helena. Você se lembra de mim? Sempre lembrando do que escolhi viver com coragem. A senhora então-lhe mostrou o mesmo livro. Estava completo agora, não com previsões, mas com a história da própria vida de Helena, suas escolas, seus erros, suas alegrias e aprendizados. No fim, havia uma última página em branco. She began to run. She came running in. Everything was the same. The woman of the the desk thing, now had hair entirely white, but the same color, same 2 eye colors. Welcome back, Helena. You remember me? I always remember those who found life with courage. The woman then showed her the same book. It was complete now with previous, not with predictions, but with a story of her own life, of the own life of Helena. Her choices, her errors, her joys, and her learnings. In the end, there was a last page in white. She ran in, everything was the same. The lady at the counter now had completely white hair, but the same two-tone gaze, the same look of 2 colors. Welcome back, Helena. Do you remember me? We always remember those who chose to move with courage. The lady then showed her the same book. It was completely not with predictions, but with the story of Helena's own life, her choices, mistakes, her choices, her lessons, and the E essa perguntou a senhora Suhel. essa é para o próximo leitor. Naquela noite, Helena se despediu da livraria, sabendo que a mágica não estava no livro, mas em quem escolha viver com intenção e desejo. Então, às vezes, quando o vento sopra do jeito certo e as folhas dançam no ar, uma nova criança encontra a porta entreaberta e ouve a suave tilintar do sino da livraria das estações. And this just the lady smiled. This is for the next reader. That night, Helena despediu. Helena fired. I don't understand this sentence. Despediu. Bookstore, knowing that the magic was not in the book but in who chose to live with intention. And since then, sometimes when the wind sopra do jeito blows the way the direction and the leaves dance in the air, a new child finds the door halfway open and hears the soft sound. Soft tinkle. Tilintar of the bell of the bookstore of seasons. And this one she has Lady smiled. This one is for the next reader. That night, Helena said goodbye to the bookstore, knowing that the magic was not in the book, but in those who chose to live with intention. And since then, sometimes when the wind blows just right and the leaves dance in the air, a new child finds the door ajar and hears the soft tinkle of the bell of the bookstore of seasons. Wow. Yeah, I can write some nice stories. All right, let's just quickly learn the words that we chose to learn today. Estações is seasons. Paralelepípedos. Paralelepípedos. I don't know what's cobblestones, but I just wanted to type it out. Sebos. Used bookstores. It's interesting that such a small word translates to something so specific in English. Entre aberta ajar. Titus Falls Calzada Sidewalk. Sino is bell. Ramen. Weird. Ball, cell, counter. Whoops. Should remember that one. Prateados. Silver. Kuro. Leather. Entrego. Delivered. Cenas is scenes. Desmondo. Falling apart. The thing about Google Translate is just too smart. So instead of translating exactly what it says, it localizes it. So basically, if you translate a whole sentence, instead of saying it the way that you would say it in a different language, it just makes sense in your own language. So you're not really getting the true meaning of certain words because of how they're said. But whatever. We're trying what we can to learn Portuguese. Trancada locked. Despedido. Fired. Suave. Smooth. Till entire. There's two. Alright. What time did we get to? 47 minutes? Not bad. Intel. Thanks for watching. We should do a little bit harder story tomorrow. I seem to mostly get like 80% of these words, and we still have 337 days left to GTA 6. So we'll see. Então, muito obrigado. Até a próxima.